What's up, everybody? We are live. I'm just starting this Facebook one. Live Hangout with Monarch. I just love when this thing doesn't work. Okay, Monarch. Bam. No. 1 second. Anyways, we're waiting for viewers to build up. Live Hangout with Monarch. This is Facebook that we're making live right now. Okay, there we go. Woohoo! A couple minutes late, not too shabby. Get a fresh cloth. Welcome, everybody. This is Monarch with the Raw Food World. Pretty cool. Looks like it's Araya's handprints in here, sitting right there. So what's going on with this Facebook thing? This is what it looks like, everybody. Pointing right at the wrinkles on my forehead. Isn't that great? Okay, so we're just waiting for this thing to go. Just straight out of the bath. All right. So we've got a fun-filled hangout for you today. We're still waiting for the numbers to increase. Come on, come on. This happened last week, but it pulled through. Says we're live. All right. Let me ask. Okay, everybody. Just trying to figure out this little Facebook glitch that we got going on here. I'm sure all will be fine. All right, let me just redo this. Finish. All right. Then start it. I try to finish it, and it says live video must be 4 seconds long, at least. But it's like jammed. Anyways. This happened last week, I think. All right, everybody. So yesterday was Halloween. It is Tuesday night here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador. We have 33 people attending our December retreat and climbing. So if you want to get in on that, now is the time to book your tickets. Plus, January 1st, the price of retreats for all future retreats go up. But if you put your deposit down, you are locked in there for good at the lower price. And you don't even have to choose which retreat you want to be at. But if you have your deposit in, then you can come to any future retreat at the current pricing. I'm going to have to reset this phone. And we'll just start the hangout here for now. Oh, wait. These new iPhones are different. Gotta like, maybe just hold this down. Yeah, slight power off. Okay. Still watching the numbers pop up right now, and then we're gonna start answering questions. There we go. Got some new information for you today, like usual. And let's rock this party tonight. Ask your questions at news.therawfoodworld.com/live. That's where to do it. Crazy election going on, huh, everybody? So ask your questions at news.therawfoodworld.com/live. Okay, we're gonna put that down. Let's see if we can get this going now. Boing, boing, boing. And sorry, turn back to that. Live. Okay, go live. Let's see if it messes up this time. Hey, Google Hangout and news.the-live viewers. Here's the Facebook viewers. Hello. Okay, seems like it's working now. Sweet. So now it's time to have a party. I got to remember to set my phone. I reset my computer every week before the Hangout, but now I've got to do that with my phone too. What's up, Dan? Okay, so we've got one question at news.therawfoodworld.com/live. So we could use more questions. Facebook is about to come on and we usually get a slew there, and then all of a sudden the questions start coming in like crazy. Okay, so here we go. Before we get started, the December retreat is filling up fast. There's 33 people. There's still space left. Now's the time to book. Also, there's 8 hours left for the at-cost specials of October. Plus, this is your last chance to get the dripping wet medjool dates, which are the best sweetener in the world. And also all those top 30 Living Libations products. They're all at cost right now, and it ends in 8 hours. And it's coming down really this time, no extensions or anything else. So at the end of this thing, oh, also, last week, we talked about Quintessential, which I'm gonna take some in a second, being one of the best trace mineral products on the planet. And at the Hangout last week, I said I was gonna put it at cost, which I did. And tonight that goes off also. And we sold out, but I have more arriving on Thursday. So I apologize about that, but we're leaving it live on the site so everyone can still take advantage of it. The reason why everyone went crazy about this is because we were talking about the importance of minerals, trace minerals especially. It is the #1 deficiency in America due to depleted soils. And it's very difficult to get, and many people have issues with hair falling out, thinning of hair, rigid fingernails, and things like this. And this could be a trace mineral deficiency. And the reason why this happens is, first off, enzymes are like the workhorses of our system. And it is the enzymes that actually break down protein and rebuild it and form it into tissues, hair, skin, nails. But trace minerals are a component that is needed to activate these enzymes to take the protein and transform it into our hair and stuff like that. So minerals are critical, and it is one of the biggest deficiencies. And these minerals aren't like the typical minerals that you would get. These are organic minerals processed through marine phytoplankton and zooplankton. It's processed there and turned into organic minerals, which makes it probably literally over 10,000 times more bioavailable to the human body versus if you were to take inorganic matter or mineral supplements that use things that are not plant-based and stuff like that. This is the best mineral supplement on the planet, without a doubt. So Crystal, they can't hear me? So Lisa asks, do we get to go to a free retreat? It's funny that you say that. We might be having a contest at some point this year to where the winner gets an all-expense paid vacation to our raw food retreat here. And this includes the plane ticket we're gonna be purchasing. Why? Why can't you hear me? Should be good. Crystal, keep me posted like every 10 seconds. Let me know if you hear me yet. And if you have any suggestions. Okay. Okay, so the peely nuts, I did an incredible promotion on that where we talked about the benefits of peely nuts and how you can utilize them and stuff like this. The issue is we sold out. So we took these ones down because it's going to take us 2 to 3 weeks to get more. So I had to take it down, unlike the Quintessential, which is arriving Thursday. But I will offer it at cost again once they arrive because they're awesome. That newsletter was incredible. How we make peely chocolate or peely mousse. You can make peely mousse with it. It is a very, there is no other nut that has more fat in it than the peely. High in vitamin E, it's very beneficial. Now, you can make raw chocolate with it because if you stone grind it, because it has so much fat, kind of like coconut oil, it hardens in the refrigerator. But it's closer to coconut butter because coconut oil melts when it's out for 3 seconds. That was how like raw foodists back in the day, 10 years ago, before they had any ingredients like peely nuts or cacao butter or things like this, they would use coconut oil to make chocolate. So now we have peely nuts, and many people don't have a stone grinder. So I discovered a way, like when we're traveling, I make peely nut mousse, and the nuts are so high in fat content that even when you blend it with 1-to-1 peely nuts versus coconut water or water, and you put it in the refrigerator, it hardens, but it hardens like mousse, and it stays together. It's like the perfect cake you can do. It's a thickener. What is going on? This might fix the Facebook issue. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna restart this thing. Live. Enter, no. Return, put a bing, put a boom. Go live. All right, so maybe that will fix the situation. Okay, our numbers are flying now. Probably because everybody from here moved here. Okay, so now Facebook Live should be working, I'm hoping. Okay. So here we go. You guys ready to rock this house? I'm ready to rock this house. Someone's asking a question about collagen. Dan, I'm going to hit you up next. First, we're going to be answering Terry's thing. Crystal, let me know if you can hear me on here now. Okay. Hello, Matt. I noticed that you're drinking cucumber juice. I'm kind of late today, as many of you noticed, so I kind of just ate recently, so I'm waiting just a little bit longer. And I didn't get to sweat as much because I had to get out of the bath really quick. So I'm waiting to drink the cucumber juice. Okay, I noticed you're drinking cucumber juice the last couple of weeks. Can you tell the difference in how you feel instead of coconut water? This is big time, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. Crystal, can you hear me on Facebook Live? Okay. So yes, I'm going to answer this question. Like, this is big time. Okay, so she says, I know you're drinking cucumber juice. Can you tell me the difference in how you feel instead of drinking coconut water? Yes. I'm just waiting for this Facebook thing to happen. It's more alkaline, no sugar in that. I think that it's great for a change. Please share how you're feeling on the cucumber juice. Oh, I was curious if you know what causes the production of melatonin, and if you know any particular foods good for this, and foods to avoid. Thanks in advance. There are things, we actually have this magnesium melatonin skin gel by Ancient Minerals on our website, which is really good. I actually love that product. I mean, I don't take it often, but it's one of my favorite products. That would probably be the best topical source, and I think it's a very good thing. So The other aspect is a lot of us have cycle issues with our circadian rhythms. So what's supposed to happen is, as the sun goes down, your optic nerve your eye has an optic nerve in it, which tells you that the sun's going down, and it starts to shut you down, slow you down, and then melatonin is produced a little bit later. It's like a cycle. But we're so messed up with our cycles that we have these computer screens and stuff like this. It's like really bright, kind of messes up our circadian rhythms. And instead of our melatonin kicking in, our cortisol kicks in from stress, and we're just like wired. And then right when you're finally ready to go to bed, your melatonin kicks in, you're waking up in the morning, you only got 4 hours sleep. And you're kind of like messed up. Why isn't there sound on here? I wonder if I need to approve in my settings or something like that. Oh man, this is just like pain. Let's see if it's still there. Hey, Crystal, can you figure out how to fix my settings on here, my new iPhone, to where it has a mic? I'm assuming that's what it is. Okay, now yes. Okay, people are hearing me good. Okay, so now that everybody can hear me, we're gonna be, okay, good. All the pressure goes on to Crystal. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Repeating the question right now. Everyone's having a party on Facebook because they can hear me now. Hello, Matt. I noticed you're drinking more cucumber juice in the last couple of weeks. Can you tell the difference in how you feel instead of coconut water? Okay, so a few months back, I started this raw vegan ketogenic diet thing. And so I started this raw vegan ketogenic diet thing. And I didn't think I was going to be making that many changes because I already did a high fat, low glycemic diet, just had to change, take fruit out of my meals. But then as I started to do this, I was floored because I realized that I was drinking incredible amounts of coconut water. It's the low glycemic coconuts, the green ones here, not like the Thai coconuts, but it still has sugar. And I was drinking lots of carrot juice every day. And so I had to stop that. And it took me a while to figure out cucumber juice is what I was going to replace it with. I need lots of liquid. It's very important for me that I can function really well in the heat for hours while other people can't. It's just crazy. But anyways, so I was floored for weeks as I'm converting to this new raw vegan ketogenic diet thing. Because I was taking copious amounts of sugar that I didn't even realize I was doing until I eliminated it. And I didn't even realize this until 2 days ago after I ate my meal. And what's up, Tanya? I ate my meal, and in the past, every time I ate, this huge thing of mucus would come up, and I would have to go and like get this and spit it out. Like I thought it was just a result of eating, and my body was just cleaning things out. And my daughter, my wife, would always be like looking at me like I was crazy every day I did that. But then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, I'm like, I haven't done that in weeks. It's because I've eliminated high sugar. Now I'm eating very small amounts of sugar, and I still don't even like to do it. But I generally only drink 8 ounces of carrot juice when I run, and I eat strawberries for breakfast, cashew butter, cashew dressing that I make, and no other sugar. And I'm just a very big fan of low sugar now. Like, I personally think that from being on a raw food diet for almost 2 decades, 20 years, I feel like I would have aged less over the last 20 years if I did not do as much sugar as I did. Now, I'm not scared of sugar. Today, I didn't run. I had maybe 2 ounces of carrot juice. Funny. But, you know, I'll have probably play with raw chocolate, things like this, no biggie. But I'm thinking that a low sugar diet is a good thing. I'm also a big fan of eating low glycemic fruits though, because these are very beneficial to the human system. We're talking about phytonutrients, food for our beneficial bacteria. It's almost critical. There's studies showing that it's really good for osteoporosis. And the conclusions they came to is it was reducing oxidative stress that chisel away at the bones. And it stated that if these women who ate fruit every single day, their osteoporosis levels would have not been as bad. So there's my answer to Terry TJ Junebug. Yeah. So I'm glad I caught this whole sugar thing at the age of 41. And now that I still have 70% of my life left, meaning I'm gonna live to over 100, that if I was living to 80, I'm only 50% done. I've got a whole long line to go here. Okay, I hear you people on Facebook. You wanna hear what I eat, my menu I eat every day? I gave that in the last Hangout. I'm interested to hear about what your kids eat on a daily basis. And low sugar, especially now, all the molds, fungus spread in chemtrails. I don't know. Low glycemic fruits are things like berries. The lower glycemic fruits are strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, kiwi fruit might be good. I mean, you don't have to be scared of Tinder. Totally agree. I've stuck with low sugar diet for about a decade. Here, I went to visit her in Spain, and she healed herself from rheumatoid arthritis by doing a high raw cooked whole foods diet, and she does very little sugar. Like her hands were like, it was serious rheumatoid arthritis, supposedly uncurable. And Jatinda here, who had actually healed herself from doing this. And now I think she started out raw, I'm not 100% sure if I remember, and then ended up at 80% raw or something like that on a healthy cooked whole foods diet. And she made a sunflower seed cake, and I felt bad because I couldn't stop eating it, and I ate it all. Yep, that's right. Okay, so moving right along. So Jeff Yates asks about honey. I'm gonna answer all your questions here on Facebook. There's just quick ones that are flowing with me right now. Okay, so honey, Manuka honey has actually been shown to help candida in some way. Maybe it's a topical thing, but it's still high in sugar. But it's very enzymatic rich and stuff like this. And the key is just not to overload sugar. So if you want to have the benefits of honey and that sugar source for the day, and you're not going to overdo it, then it could be a very good thing. Honey is one of the best things. Yeah, it's very good. And again, I'm not against sugar. I'm not against bananas. I'm not against any fruit. I'm just still experimenting and in reaping the benefits of eating very low sugar. And just to keep on top of all this, I'm eating low sugar, but my ketones aren't even that good. There was one time I was like at 1.3, which is great, 1.1, but then I'm at 0.4, 0.3. It's not, I mean, that's good, but it's not necessarily, it's more about low sugar versus like I have to be in ketosis from my standpoint. If I didn't have carrot juice today, I would test my blood ketones right now. Okay. Okay, Dan. And then, okay, we're gonna answer Dan's question. Maybe do one more on here and then come back here and then go there. We'll talk about what I eat in a day and stuff like that. Okay. Matt, nice to see you. Good to see you too, Dan. Do you know anything about collagen? Can that be found plant-based rather than animal-based? Okay. Okay, so collagen. Collagen in the human body is what holds everything together. It helps build the ligaments, bring skin together, all of these different things, holds connective tissue, everything. It's very important. And there are many issues why, and even like we were talking about earlier, hair and skin. Okay, so many people are looking at the wrong places. Many people are told about the Band-Aid approach. Oh, you're having issues without not producing collagen, so you have to take collagen. Okay, so collagen is simply a protein. And when you eat protein, the enzymes, there could be many reasons why your collagen's not working. The enzymes break it down, and then the enzymes rebuild it into tissue. But if you don't have trace minerals, like we were just talking about a second ago, then the enzymes aren't activated, don't have the necessary resources to build the collagen and turn it into hair and stuff like this. And if you don't have that, you can eat as much collagen powder, collagen foods you want, but it's going to do nothing because you don't have the trace minerals to make the enzymes active. That could be one source. Now, I'm not 100% sure how collagen works in terms of, but I believe you can literally take amino acids from almond butter, hemp seeds, and all these other things, and then it rebuilds into collagen. It's just protein. So we'll have to look a little bit deeper into that. But the main situation here is it's probably a Band-Aid approach. You take all the collagen you want, you might not get any results. So maybe it's a trace mineral situation. There are other aspects too. For example, if you're too alkaline, which is happening in today's day and age, because when a person is when they're stressed out a lot, cortisol is produced and you lose acid through that process and you become alkaline in areas where you don't want to be alkaline, like the stomach. People are on this alkaline kick, but the stomach has to be 1 to 3 pH or you're going to have all sorts of issues. Being 1 to 3 pH in the stomach, if you're pH 4 in the stomach, you won't activate the enzyme that digests protein. So maybe you don't have an acidic stomach and it needs to be between 1 and 3 to break down the protein, or you're gonna have undigested protein, bloating and stuff like that. So apple cider vinegar on a daily basis might be what's needed to acidify your stomach. And a lot of people have issues with, it might take time to rebuild the acid in your stomach, maybe a month, because it took a long time for it to leave, so you never know. That's another aspect. Maybe there's other nutritional deficiencies. There's so many different things, and we're always looking at the Band-Aid approach. For example, with hormones, many people have hormonal issues or a thyroid issue, and they just want to go on the bandwagon and take hormones, which actually puts the gland that produces that hormone to sleep, and they feel better and stimulated at one point, but they haven't fixed the problem of the situation. And these problems could be all sorts of things, whether if you're dealing with thyroid hormone, insulin, progesterone opposing estrogen, high estrogen and not enough progesterone, so many different situations. And I'm sure I'll address more of this in this Hangout because I'm reading a lot about this lately. So there's so many different possibilities, and it's the Band-Aid approach that we want to leave alone. And the key is to eliminate processed foods. This generally alone normalizes out the body. Eliminating refined sugars and processed starches, which spikes insulin and causes inflammation, messes with the gut lining, immune system, and things like this. So that's the key, is to eliminate processed foods, refined sugars, and processed starches. Okay, I watched your peeling nut video, but I guess you're not doing the promotion, correct? The cacao product sample and the 15% coupon. Yeah. Okay. Oh, is it hard to make peeling nut paste with a food processor? That's actually brilliant. That would do it. I bet that would do it. You can make peeling nut chocolate without a stone grinder in the food processor. There you go. And you could do other things. You can even add almond butter. to make it go further. Or what I like to do is make a bunch of peeling nut butter and then take 16 ounces of chia or a 16 ounce jar of chia to 16 ounces of peeling butter and pour that in there. And then it's like a Nestle Crunch bar when you put it in the refrigerator, and it doubles the amount. So you're saving money on the peely chocolate, and it even tastes better. And you're getting the benefits of chia seeds. Hi, Ren, from all of you in Montana. Can we talk about Camu? Oh, I can talk about Camu. I've been talking about Camu for the last 3 months in our Hangouts because I'm furious about what's going on out there. I'm coming back to Facebook after this question, then I'm going to come back here. Okay. Someone pointed out, okay, forget it. If you have Camu powder that tastes like the pixie sticks that you used to get, you'd rip off the piece of paper and you'd get all that sugar, that means, it says right here, other ingredients, non-GMO corn maltodextrin as a drying medium. They downplay it by saying it's non-GMO, number one, and they downplay it more by saying they're using it as a drying medium. Oh, it's only a drying medium. Okay. You spray the Camu powder, or in this case, the acerola cherry, onto the maltodextrin, and then what you're left with is a product. I know how the superfoods industry works. I'm 100% certain about this. You're left with 85% maltodextrin and 15% acerola cherry. And all of those Camu powders that don't taste nasty like ours, no, ours tastes good, it's just bitter. If it tastes like a pixie stick sugar, it is 85% maltodextrin guaranteed. I am 100% sure. And some people don't even mention, at least they state it in a nonchalant way that there's maltodextrin in here. But a lot of the companies don't even state that their Camu powder has maltodextrin. And if you know what maltodextrin did to the human body, it gets, first off, it goes straight into glucose, which is no good, spikes insulin, and it does other things, which I'm gonna come out with later in a future thing. All right. But with that being said, our Camu powder is the best vitamin C source, the highest vitamin C source in the world. In a video, I showed the test results of the vitamin C content, and it's a whole food. You're not taking a vitamin C component. And the entire food complex vitamin of the whole entire complex of vitamin C is needed for ultimate functioning in the human body. For example, vitamin C tablets that you buy, which is just a sector of vitamin C, is simply, it doesn't have certain components such as tyrosinase, which is a enzyme, which it's like copper, it's like a copper enzyme thing. And this is actually needed for collagen and the use of our vascular system, forming collagen. And when you don't have that, it's not ideal. I have Camu powder here, right here. I poured it into this jar, my Camu powder. See? Powder. It's like the ultimate vitamin C source. It's the best vitamin C source on the planet, right there, right here. Okay. Okay, let's come back to Facebook. I fell behind here. Okay. Okay, so give my menu what I usually eat daily. When I first wake up in the morning, I drink 32 ounces of water. I then wait, and then I have a green juice. If I run, which I do many times a week, I will have 8 ounces carrot, 8 ounces wild green juice here. If I don't run, I'll probably just have 8 ounces of green juice and then 8 ounces of celery or cucumber juice. Then I eat my meal, which is I take lettuce leaves. Look, we actually have it right here because I didn't get to eat. Anyways, what I do is I take a lettuce leaf from our garden. Everything's still out. I've got my cashew dressing over there. I put that on here. I cut up strawberries, put that on top, and then I'll either pour almond butter on there or make a wrap, put that in almond butter, and then eat it. So that meal that I just said is ideal for the beneficial bacteria in your gut. It thrives off of plant fiber, our bacteria. It thrives off of strawberries, and it thrives off of cashews. Then later, I'll drink some more cucumber juice or whatever kind of juice I'm drinking, no sugar usually. And then my end meal of the day will be a salad like this, but I'll cut it up with scissors to where this turns into nothing. I'll put dulse in, some tomatoes. I missed a meal today, which is very rare. It was just crazy today. Maybe I'll even eat after this. Avocado, olives, big fat salad. And then I eat that, and then I go sweat in the bath, and then I drink probably 2 of these in the evening time. Because I sweat so much. I will seriously sweat till I'm ready to pass out. Not pass out, but like it's crazy. And then sometimes I sweat in the bath and do that. And then with my friends, I go and steam room here at the Raw Food Retreat headquarters, and I go back into the hot cold like 3 times. So I'm drinking crazy amounts of liquid. So, and that's all I do in a day. And then I'll take things like Kink Essential. I actually want to take this today. I've been thinking about pine pollen. I've been done it every time I'm on a hangout. I usually do it. This is great. It has DHEA. Okay, so moving along. Okay, so what does my daughter usually eat in a day? She's roaming around here somewhere. She eats a 100% raw food diet with eggs, just to cover her grounds. Me personally, I don't eat eggs. She's actually come on here and I said, Mariah, this innocent young kid, do I eat eggs? And she told everybody, no, I don't. And there she is right now, going in the refrigerator, getting something or other. But if I were to eat as much as she eats in a day, I would be like floored. Yeah, so she is a 100% raw food eater with eggs. You want to say hello? You want cucumber juice? You want to get me a cup? All right. Ding a ding a ding 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 a ding a ding. You want to say hi? No? Okay. She knows she's naked. Okay. My baby. Generally, we omelets and we discard the white. And all it is egg yolk with C-Clear, which is a product we carry. By the way, if you're tuning in, our at-cost specials, which include C-Clear, is ending in 8 hours. This is the last chance to get the dripping wet Medjool dates. This is the last chance to get the top 30 Living Libations products at cost. Right. C-Clear is available too. We've got Destiny almond butter, which is arriving Thursday also because we ran out. Okay. So let's catch up on these. Give me a sample pack to lunch one time. Y'all just did that. Eat on the go diet. Okay. Plan terms for hard workers. I don't know what you mean. Okay. People seem to think that orange juice behaves the same way as lemon juice. I like the Camu powder for vitamin C source versus orange juice because you're drinking crazy amounts of sugar. Also, and I'm not saying if you're going to drink orange juice, 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces. I used to just drink crazy amounts of it in coconut water. Lemon juice is really good to take on a daily basis if you have kidney issues. It helps cleanse the kidneys out. What's up, Annette? She loves my honesty. What's the best green powder is the question by John. My favorite green food powder is Pure Synergy. It tastes really good. We have that on our website also. Cost Sundowns is in the house. Okay, Amy Reed writes, hi, Matt. Glad to catch you because I want to get serious about probiotics. All right, let me get serious. Serious. I've been feeling super run down lately. As a side note, I also struggle in supplementation like vitamin D and B12. That aside, can I ask about when to take a probiotic? I have a 5-day powder starter and then another daily powder capsule for that after that. I have seen different ways to take things and I'm confused. Before food, after food, in the morning, at night, empty stomach, full stomach, swish in the mouth, do this, don't do that. Ugh, what's your take on them? I want to make the most of what I have bought. Okay, first off, okay, you're looking for a pill to fix your fatigue. And probiotics are dandy and great, but the best way to fix your beneficial bacteria is to create a habitat that they thrive in. Okay, probiotics work is the ones that's, okay, each different kind of strain survives in different habitats. For example, on the tongue, you have microorganisms, and depending on the habitat, different microorganisms can live there, but some of them produce the same task of breaking down food or whatever it does. So the key is to make the habitat perfect. For example, a person who eats more plant foods has a different strain of probiotic because that is needed to break down the cellulose and the fiber and stuff like that. So there's all sorts of different strains, and then there's bad bacteria that is seen in obese people and stuff like this. So if you're going to be taking probiotics and continue to drink your coffee, I know you're drinking coffee, I could just feel it. Maybe not, but I just feel it. I'm not saying coffee's bad. Continue to have that. Facebook's doing this thing again. Continue to eat the once in a while cookie that has refined sugar and processed starches. All of these things that mess up the microbiome. You are creating a habitat that can cause inflammation, create fatigue, and then you look for a pill such as a probiotic to take, and then you're worried about when to take it, how to take it, all these other things. The key is to support the habitat on an ongoing basis. Many people don't even have beneficial bacteria because they never eat plant foods. Some people, maybe that one lettuce leaf in the burger is saving their life. So the key is to eat plant foods. You don't have to eat 100% raw. I actually recommend against it, even though I do it. The key is to eat plant foods because that's what the beneficial microbes thrive off of. The fiber, live fiber is what they thrive off of. It doesn't break down, and they eat it, and then they reproduce like crazy, creating short chain fatty acids, which fights cancer, fights inflammation. Other things are created that, like butyric acid is created, which strengthens the blood-brain barrier. All of these different things happen just from the lifestyle. And probiotics are good, but it's like it's fighting against our habits, and it's going to lose the battle. But if you take probiotics in addition to your new good habits, you're flying. There is a detox withdrawal concept also that you have to stick through, but you should start feeling better immediately. But with that being said, if you think about it, all it is you want these probiotics to get through the digestive system so the beneficial bacteria can be added and colonized and actually feed and all these other things. it might be good to take with food so it actually makes it through the digestive processes. I'm just coming up with that right now. But all ways are good. Maybe try one way, another day, and so you get the benefits of all possibilities. Can you explain about the nutritional yeast you carry? It doesn't say organic anywhere on the packaging. Yeah, and neither does this one. I don't think there is any nutritional yeast in the world that is organic. But anyways, many doctors are recommending people, natural doctors, want to see people getting B vitamins, especially B1, which actually opposes cortisol and insulin. So you take this, it actually opposes it, and they're recommending the unified nutritional yeast. This right here is bright yellow. Because the ingredients are, the yeast is the first ingredient, and then there's B3, B6, B2, B1, and B12. They are synthetic vitamins that they put inside of here. Most of them are. That's why they're bright yellow. And then when you take a look at ours, our bag is almost gone. This stuff is just awesome. Look at the difference in color. Like oops, all over my computer. All the people, we've been getting crazy testimonials on this stuff. Okay. And it doesn't have a chemical bite after. It's natural occurring B1 vitamins and other B vitamins. Okay. When it's time for the baby to eat, what will you give her for baby food? She's actually has already grabbed a cucumber and ate that. She's grabbed some strawberries and ate that already. She's 8 months, Leandra. Maybe one day she'll be awake for the hangout. Anyways, she has even taken one of our nachos. Didn't really eat it, but just was like, oh, bad. So one thing that people say is the very first food they eat, they love forever. And it worked with Araya. We gave her cucumbers, and she just can't get enough cucumbers. So I try to pick healthy things. Avocado is a good one. Okay. Okay, I'm coming back here. Oh, dude, it's everywhere. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth here. So Amy, so Amy's saying that I also read mix it with juice, but the other day I used orange juice, then instantly regretted it, thinking the acid would kill the probiotic. That's the problem right there. You're freaking out about everything. And if you're freaking out about like taking a probiotic like me, then you're probably freaking about other aspects in your life too. So it's like, that's a big thing to like get under control. What can I do to regrow my hair, prevent hair loss, etc.? Well, we were just talking a minute ago, if you don't have trace minerals and you're not going to activate the protein enzymes to build protein, that could be one thing. Maybe you have a messed up liver to where you're not producing bile, to where you're not absorbing nutrition properly. There's many possibilities and scenarios, but the main thing is to live a healthy dietary lifestyle. And a lot of people that, like, what are you eating? Like, that's like the key. Mark Brian says, love what you're doing here. Do you drink coffee? What view, please? I personally don't drink coffee. I personally think, okay, so here's your plate of what you eat in a day, every single day. Let's say you're eating McDonald's hamburger, or maybe you're not eating that like that crazy, but you're eating like a Twinkie here and there, pizza, we'll say pizza or white bread, things like this, and then you drink coffee. Now, if I saw someone in this situation, I would say keep drinking the coffee and eliminate all that stuff, and then you're going to reap incredible benefits. It's like we've got to make the major changes that we can do in our lifestyle is eliminate refined sugars and processed starches from our intake, which includes bread. There's certain starches that are okay, that are gluten-free, such as brown rice, beans, quinoa, millet, buckwheat. Salads are key, everybody. This is what we need for our beneficial bacteria. Salads, big salads. So the coffee is the last thing you want to worry about. Maybe like just have the best thing to do. It does spike insulin. So the best thing is just have a small amount in the morning if you can. And then in the long run, if you can work like 10-year mission to get rid of it at some point, that's always good too. Okay. Okay, Tatiana, I've got to go back over here and then I'm going to come back here. Okay. Matt, I recently watched a video. He states the cause of diabetes is consumption of animal products and not from the consumption of sugar and excess carbohydrates. I've never heard this before. He said animal products plug up cell receptors. Any thoughts on this? I mean, maybe if you're overdoing the animal products, but I mean, that's just pretty crazy. Like, no. The main cause of diabetes is refined sugars and processed starches. That's it right there. The animal protein in small doses can actually help the situation. I mean, I'm not a big fan of animal protein. I am in some cases if it's like really clean and stuff like that. I don't eat any. But what I would recommend, here's the raw food diet. That's what I eat. If someone were to not want to go this far, then eggs would be the next best thing. That's probably the next best food that I recommend for nutrition purposes. That's why Oriah eats them. Fish, clean fish, and then you can do animal protein. But for diabetes, it's refined sugars and processed starches. It's hands down. You stop that and then boom. And he says not from consumption of sugar and excess carbohydrates, or does he just say it's from consumption of animal protein? That's just funny. I don't know. Okay. Tatiana is asking questions on both. Do you know anything about kombucha and what it does to you? What does it do? Okay, so kombucha is a fermented product, and the reason why many people like it is because of the beneficial bacteria component. So it can actually help with that situation. But again, the key is to create a habitat to where the types of beneficial bacteria we want are thriving. That's the key, and that's how we do that through lifestyle. Okay, Matt, what do you think about MSM flakes? They effect on hair and nails. Is it considered as natural organic product as processed for body to absorb? I personally feel that cucumber juice is a better way, but that's like to get that, what you're doing there is a way to get a very high dosage. You get a very high dosage of sulfur and things like that. So it's good. I use fermented coconut milk yogurt. It's great for me. I also use coconut milk in coffee. That's cool. Yeah, Mark, one big thing about the coffee is not putting refined sugar in the things they use. Okay. How much more spiritual energy do you receive with your lifestyle and diet? Just like things like yoga and stuff like this, they act as a doorway to getting more spiritual energy if done right and things like this. It was actually 17 years ago when I started this, and I was blown away by it on what the spiritual capacity that it had. So when I did it, I couldn't believe like how I felt. And I did a lot of enemas and colonics at the time to help with the cleaning out, because you have to go through that process. And then after that, yeah, I was blown away. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And that was like the beginning of my spiritual path. But that was just like the introduction. You can't like rely on that, if that makes sense. It's just like, okay, here it is. Now you can move further if you want. Why don't I recommend eating raw? Well, it's not that I don't recommend eating raw. I like eating raw myself. Just for most people, it's not feasible. For example, we've got Mark here, who Mark Bryan here, who is watching for the very first time. He stated that he drinks coffee and what do I think about it and stuff like that. Now, if I started doing the hippie raw food, you can't do anything else, blah, blah, blah approach, you think this guy, Mark's going to watch me ever again? No, I'm trying to help people. And also, it might not be the ideal diet. First off, it makes you mentally insane, and you have to get through that, number one. Number two, I mean, through all the deprivation and restructuring of your cellular level, and it's not like, it's like going through an operation, a 10-year operation to where your body transforms to be able to handle this type of diet. And most people aren't wanting to go through that. You lose your family, your friends, like a separation, a divide there. It just becomes, it's on all levels, it's crazy. Secondly, can you get everything you need? Like me personally, I mean, I think everyone should take this, but I take this because am I getting all the minerals I need? I have these B12 patches here because yes, the colon B12, but am I really gonna be making enough? You gotta make sure you're covering your ground. So omega-3, I have to take supplements. I take the omega-zen product and stuff like that. Okay. So for not eating raw, it's not feasible for most people. You had said in the private Facebook group that nutritional yeast is organic. It might have been Crystal, because she kind of runs the Facebook over there, and it's an error. So I apologize about that. I like to put Crystal as the scapegoat here. But anyways, if maybe Crystal, you can fix that. Okay. Okay. Amy writes, me again, thanks for your advice. I am vegan, but I did actually abuse the coffee last month. And I know my whole foods have taken a back seat to some more packaged. So there you go, Amy. And you're worried about these probiotics. We should be doing like fixing those little things. It would be way more beneficial than taking the probiotics, because now you're like battling with refined sugars and processed starches. Trans fatty acids are in 30,000 different foods on the countertops, and a lot of them don't even state they have trans fatty acids in there, which is really bad for all sorts of things. Trans fatty acids can clog arteries, compete with omega-3, block enzymes to make many things happen, to build immunity, to fight cancer, all sorts of things. So trans fatty acids are no good. And the habitat that you're creating on a daily basis in your gut can be changed to where the proliferation of very beneficial bacteria starts to work better. Furthermore, there's this brain, everyone's talking now about this whole entire brain gut axis thing going on, where the vagus nerve, for example, there's many different, what do you call them? Like serotonin, gamma, different things like this are actually tryptophan, which creates serotonin, is produced in the colon by the beneficial bacteria when they create short chain fatty acids, and through the vagus nerve they come up into the brain and actually can help relax you, calm you, help you with depression and things like this. So dietary lifestyle is a big thing in all of this. And those are like tools that can help you be happier and things like this. With that being said, there is a spiritual component, which is working on all this yourself. Kind of like when a person gets angry, they can kind of just like stop the anger. They don't, like, some people can not throw the nutritional yeast against the window, which I've done many times. But also, like, you know, there's children around or something, we have the ability to focus. We watch our anger dissipate till it's gone. And it's the same thing. You can do the same thing with stress, worry, fear, being freaked out. All of these different things is that there's a big spiritual component there. And when you work on that, you start to lower stress in your life, which lowers cortisol, which creates all sorts of issues in the human body. One being excess weight. Another is inflammation and a messed up gut bacteria. Another thing is blockage of things all throughout the body. Bile can be blocked a little bit when you have that, or the hypothalamus pituitary axis might not get certain messages when we're in constant stress. We start to break down protein when we're in constant stress. So all of these tools, from focusing and doing healthy diet, is pretty big here. This diet component is ridiculously huge though. Okay. What are your thoughts about bone broth? Many people are talking about it is just rich in nutrition and is beneficial for many different things, probably the gut microbiome also. I'm not really up to date with it. I'm not a big fan of bone broth. But I'm sure it does have definitely has beneficial properties, I would assume, because a lot of well-known people are preaching it. And I don't think they would be doing that if it wasn't as good as they're talking about it. Hey, Matt, where are the Symbiotic Probiotics and Nori sheets? I can't find them on the Raw Food World site. How do you recommend using nutritional yeast? What does it do? Thanks for all you do. Well, first off, the nutritional yeast tastes like cheese. It's really good. I'll just pour this right on my salad. Sometimes you can just take avocado, cut it in half, dice it, like make cubes, put it in a bowl, put some salt on there, and put this on there. It's like a meal in itself. It's like really good. And then the Nori sheets and Symbiotic Probiotics should be on our website. Sammy, you have my email. Just email me that question. Look again, type in Nori, it should come up. And then just type in potent, P-O-T-E-N-T, on our website, and that should come up also. The Symbiotics should come up. You could say potent probiotic. Is yerba mate popular there? That's definitely probably a more clean source of stimulation. Okay, let's go here. Frozen convenience items since feeling run down. Okay. What's up, Kate? Also, I am a younger athlete, Piper writes. What would you recommend as key nutrients, foods I should be getting daily? What type of young athlete are you? And it's kind of like this. The healthier you eat, the longer you could go in that sport in longevity. Meaning, like, if you're gonna eat crap, McDonald's and all these other things, you might do really well for a certain amount of years, but then you're gonna decline faster than if you ate healthy. Then you could last longer in sports. Like, you could go maybe an extra 10 years even. So diet's important for that. So you've got to, like, figure out what's going on. There's many different aspects to look at. What type of athletics are you doing? There is different components, like you can be carbohydrate adapted, where you're eating lots of sugar, or you could be fat adapted, to where you're eating more fat for energy. If you need access to energy very quickly, then healthy sugar might be the way to go. So it depends on what you're doing, what your requirements are, how often, stuff like that. Do you want to be on a low sugar diet? Yada, yada, yada. Thanks for your comments on coffee. Since cleaning up my food intake, I have to be careful with coffee. Sometimes it makes me feel bad though. So when you become cleaner, you become more sensitive, and then you get more benefit of the feeling of all of these different things. If you take a crave bar like me, you can have a chocolate bar and be like more blitz than you are on caffeine right now. Rainbow writes, hi Matt, naturopath says I have dormant candida in my blood. Okay, I love naturopathic doctors. She's told me to eat veggies. Okay, first off, everybody has dormant candida. Candida, there's candida in everybody. It's the overgrowth of candida that's the issue. Candida actually helps with the digestion. It's when it gets out of control is when it turns into an issue. All right. She told me to eat veggies, organic grass-fed meats, healthy fats. What would you recommend? Thank you. I mean, it sounds pretty good. Kefir is also a very good thing. That's probably like one of the best things for candida, along with eliminating sugar, refined sugars and processed starches, getting off antibiotics. This messes up your gut microbiome. Any medications, birth control pills, stuff like this. So it seems like the diet seems good. I mean, else, but it seems good. And then, yeah, so creating that type of habitat to where the beneficial bacteria can overtake and destroy the candida. We need healthy yeast versus bad yeast. And the kefir is actually really good for that type of thing. Yeah. I heard that even though we make B12 in the large intestine, we can only absorb it in the lower part of the small intestine called the ileum. So isn't it true then that it doesn't matter whether we make B12 in our large intestines because it can't be absorbed? I was not taking B12 for many years. And I mean, raw foods have lower B12 levels regardless. You can't like measure blood levels of a raw foodist compared to the mainstream typical diet person. Same thing with all the levels. But I didn't really necessarily have a problem, but I definitely think the B12 is important. That's why I take, whenever I don't take the B12 patches for a while, I kind of like, oh my God, I gotta put one by my desk. The B12 patches. This whole entire nutrition through skin is big time. Like I love to put it on the skin, bypasses that and go straight into the bloodstream. I've done body food hygiene, man. I'm 90% raw after 6 years. I'm more sensitive to what my body needs. If I eat what I don't need, my body reacts like nausea. It's weird, but true. Lifestyle gets tricky. I feel so much more connected to everything. You're a distance runner. Distance runner. Well, the easy way out is sugar. But if you're doing distance, then I would think like you don't need the energy right away. Yeah, I don't know. You probably have to experiment with that one. Hi, Matt. Newbie here. Facebook is kind of going around. I can tell you though, Waiting for Facebook to come back on. Okay, so there was a clinical study done where they took carbohydrate loaded people, adapted people versus ketogenic fat adapted people. And when they tested blood, the people on the fat diet were burning more fat, stored fat. Triglycerides were present, showing that they were actually burning their stored fat, not actually the fat that they were eating. But it doesn't seem like your goal is to lose weight here. So the main thing, what I would say, is pretty much don't eat refined sugars and processed starches and eat a cooked whole foods diet. Maybe do a cooked whole foods diet with the quinoa, millet, buckwheat, maybe some brown rice. See how that works. And if you don't like that, then try the fat aspect. And fruit is always good. Okay, now we're back. Hi, Matt. Newbie here. Made a purchase from your site on Sunday. Sweet. Thank you, Tamika. What would you recommend to heal hypothyroid? All right. Is it an autoimmune hypothyroid issue, or is this just a hypothyroid situation? Okay, so here's a situation where most people take the Band-Aid approach. I mean, this is so multifaceted. This Facebook thing's driving me nuts up. Let me drink a little. Okay, while this is going around the clock here, there is about 8 hours left. I'm going to answer your question on the hypothyroid. You're back in a second. There's 8 hours left where you can get the Dripping Wet Midgel Dates, the top 30 Living Libations products, all at cost, with October's at cost special and November's at cost specials at the same time. And the Quinti Essential, which arrives in our warehouse Thursday, is available at the lowest price available in the world. Until tomorrow morning, I'm taking it down. There's a map on there. I'm not supposed to sell below 52, so I'm like anxious to get it down. So it's not, everything's going down. Okay, so hypothyroidism. Okay, so what many people do when they have hypothyroidism, what you do is you just start taking T4, which is the thyroid hormone, and then that's supposed to fix the situation. Okay, so what the problem is, T4 converts into T3, 80% happens in the liver, the rest happens in the kidneys. T4 converts into T3, and the T3 is the active form that is actually utilized to help the thyroid situation here. So what a lot of people do is they take the Band-Aid approach and they just start taking the T4. When you start taking the T4, your thyroid becomes lazy because it doesn't need to produce, the glands don't need to produce T4 anymore because it's there, available. And a lot of the time people take T4, they're still overweight, their hair is still brittle, they still have all the symptoms, cold hands, cold feet, all these different things. And the thing that we have to be looking out for is the cause. Me personally, I am against taking hormones unless a person just straight out says, I am not willing to improve my life, my health, because I am too weak in order to improve my dietary lifestyle. I would rather have issues for the rest of my life and be dependent on a hormone. As long as they have this information, then in certain situations, okay, then if you want to take a hormone, great, go for it. But all hormone situations can be rectified without taking the hormone. This is like the purpose of what we do here. We're trying to change our lifestyle, our dietary lifestyle, our health, to where our body normalizes and functions properly. Now, there can be many different reasons why T4 doesn't convert to T3 properly. As I stated earlier, 80% of T4 converts to T3 in the liver. If you have a fatty liver from being insulin resistant, or if you just have a fatty liver in general, if you drink too much alcohol or whatever, you might not be able to drink you might not be able to convert T4 to T3. Maybe you're constipated, backing up the liver. Maybe you have candida and there's so much waste being produced that your liver is overloaded. Maybe you don't have enough bile because a lot of bile is needed for this conversion. Or maybe you have a nutritional deficiency and you don't have selenium or D3, because D3 brings the free T3 into the cell. And if you don't have that, then you're not doing it right. And then if you don't have selenium to make this conversion process happen from T4 to T3, so there's all of these, maybe you have too much estrogen, which competes for the thyroid receptors. There's so many different possibilities and scenarios. And if you're gonna just do the Band-Aid approach and take T4 just to throw more in without fixing the problem, you're gonna end up with issues in the long run. Maybe you're having too much refined sugars and processed starches to where you're not converting it properly. Maybe you're eating too much gluten, which can break through the permeable layers of the gut, leaky gut, and then you develop an autoimmune disease because it is very close to the thyroid receptor, thyroid gland, the makeup of the gluten, and it gets all confused, the system. Maybe your gut lining's messed up. So the key is not to take T4, but to go deeper and figure out what the situation that is going on here and fix that. And now you've fixed the situation to where you don't need to take hormones to be dependent upon on the rest of your life. And you've improved your dietary lifestyle to where you're not going to end up on pharmaceutical drugs like some Americans today. Maybe you're stressed out all the time, which can actually pinch the nerve of the bile duct, not producing enough bile. That can happen. So many possibilities and scenarios. Estrogen is a big thing, like we were talking about before. Maybe you're so stressed out when you produce cortisol, progesterone is taken and to form cortisol. Progesterone and many other things happen. So progesterone is taken, and progesterone is what opposes estrogen. And if you're stressed out all the time and you're losing all of your progesterone, now your estrogen is taking over. So now what estrogen does in the human body is it kind of like builds, it actually like in the uterus will build the lining faster, and kind of like the progesterone stops that from going too thick. Same with the breast, with cell division. You might get bigger breasts, but you're, if you have too much estrogen and no progesterone to oppose it, what is happening is you're having so much cell division, you're at a higher risk for breast cancer. So now you don't have enough progesterone. You can start taking progesterone, but the issue here is a stress issue. And if you don't handle the stress issue, you're taking progesterone to oppose the estrogen. So now you're tired, wired, and overweight. That's what's happening. So the key is to figure out the stress thing. And the progesterone could be other things too. That was just one example. Maybe it's another nutritional deficiency. If you have a nutritional deficiency, your hormones might not be producing correctly. Another issue is maybe you have enough progesterone, but you have excess estrogen. That's probably the biggest case of them because of our lifestyle again. A lot of the animal products are injected with hormones and stuff like this. You want to get clean meat and things like that. Also, the endocrine disruptors are pesticides mimic estrogen. The endocrine disruptors are like, for example, if you're using a microwave and you're heating things in plastic, all of these different things can create estrogen, and you have this overload of estrogen and not enough progesterone, and now you're having this issue here. Now, you could take more progesterone to try to fix the situation, but the smart way to do this would be like leave progesterone alone and stop using the microwave, stop heating things in plastic, stop eating antibiotics in milk and get clean milk, stop eating animal protein that is loaded with antibiotics and all these other things, eating whatever they're called, I don't remember. But what is happening is we've got to lower our estrogen intake through our lifestyle. Like, we got to fix what we're doing here. So it's kind of like it's like an approach that we have to take from every single angle here. And it's an entire lifestyle change. It's not just about diet. Yeah. So the point is, I'm not a big fan of hormones. No siree. So the key is to fix the situation here from the very bottom, and then work your way up. And if many of us don't want to do that. And if you know the repercussions of taking hormones, you want to feel better. You might be a little bit wired and wear your body out longer, and maybe you're not going to live as long. Maybe you'll end up on pharmaceutical drugs in the long run. But if you understand the repercussions here, but you want that stimulation and to feel better without going through the exercising work, I like to call it exercise, improving your diet, to reap the natural benefits, which have the least impact on the human body, enables you to live longer, enables you to be beautiful for long term, and all of these other things. If you understand these repercussions and you want to take the hormones, take the hormones. So here you have pregnenolone, which is a hormone. You stress, cortisol, pregnenolone turns into DHEA and progesterone. And then when you're stressing, okay, you have pregnenolone. When you stress, it turns into DHEA and progesterone. Progesterone turns into cortisol, goes away. And then DHEA, which is actually, this is like one of the rare foods that actually has some of that, turns into testosterone or estrogen and stuff like that. It's actually like a precursor. And I don't like to take too much of this, just every once in a while, you know? All right. Okay, Matt, do you ever fast? I did a lot of that in the past. I don't like to do that anymore. I don't think it's necessary. I think improving your dietary lifestyle is the ultimate fast you can do. It's like a lifelong fast. From here on out, you have lowered the energy density of your food, meaning like you can eat 10 pounds of raw food and 5 pounds of standard American diet food, and this is healthier. So you've improved your diet. You're eating less calories. It's almost like calorie restriction in itself, which is extremely beneficial. Many different things happen when you improve your diet. When you improve your diet permanently, you kick on autophagy, which happens in your brain. You improve brain-derived neurotrophic factors, which actually will help against depression and Alzheimer's, helps you think more, stuff like this. And there, in clinical studies, mice live longer with calorie restriction just from improving your diet. All of these things happen. And then also, your body starts to clean out senescent cells, which are cells that have been damaged that create these inflammatory cytokines in the human body and brain area and stuff like this. It's called autophagy. That kicks on and then starts cleaning that out just from improving your diet right there on an ongoing basis. Okay, so I fast. My life is a fast. Look, like I'm kind of pissed off I only ate once today. I'm trying to build muscle here. Okay. Waiting for Facebook to connect again. Okay. Everyone's hitting me with website situations on Hangout. Matt, I wish there was the ability to view the labels of the products offered on your website. I'd like to be able to view nutrition breakdowns such as carbohydrates, sugar, fats, etc. before purchasing. Will this be available in the near future? What we're doing right now is we are revamping our website in a major way. So this can definitely be put in we're actually having people update the pictures and things like this. We can actually add that to the situation. Crystal, send me an email about that and I'll get on that. We'll add it to the task we're currently doing. Okay. Piper writes. So my family eats very healthy, not vegan though. However, we do have about 2 days a week where we lean to do more of the vegan side. That's really good to do actually, to take breaks. Fruits and veggies predominantly. Is it harder for the body to adjust to this flip-flopping or is it still beneficial? No, it's very beneficial. Generally when people, it is recommended when you're eating animal protein not to do it every single day. So pretty much what you're doing is you're just switching it up. I think that's fine. I think that's a great practice. At the moment, I don't use any supplements. What would you suggest I buy from your site to see what effect it may have on my health energy levels? Okay, so I'm a big fan of micronutrients just to make sure we're getting what we need, the vitamins and minerals of what we need. And right now, this is at a good price. What it is it's 30 vials. I'm just laughing at the customer service people because they're like, why are you promoting a product that's not coming until Thursday? It's 30 of these vials. I'll drink one right now, as a matter of fact. Has every mineral the human body needs, has RNA, DNA, all sorts of things. You guys, I'm coming out with something, not a product, a concept that is going to blow the health movement away like it's never been seen before. It's going to take me some time, but with all this research that I'm doing, I'm seeing things that is not being shown or no one's grasping. Coming soon to a hangout near you. Okay. Okay, so this would probably be would be one on the top. Maybe you guys want to try this Pure Synergy. Oh man, I wonder how much we have in stock. This Pure Synergy green food on our website. It tastes really good. That's a very good thing, Pure Synergy. They have a whole line of products on our website, but the green food, is this called Pure Synergy? If you need vitamin C or Camu powder is really good. If you want to boost your immune system, I'm a very big fan of our reishi spore oil that I'm looking for. I have it every day. Should be right there. Oh, there it is. The Living Nutritional's reishi spore oil. This has been tested against all the other reishi spore oil on the market. Dude, this Facebook is driving me nuts out. Okay, is stronger in polysaccharides and triterpenoids compared to all other reishi spore oil products and is half the price, if not more than like half the price in terms of, oh, it's out of stock. This arrives very soon. It's like in process to get to us, but it can be pre-ordered. Okay. What about melatonin for sleep? The Life Extension Foundation recommends it for older people. I'm not a fan of it. It's supplements should be used as supplements. Like, for example, Natural Calm is a very, this is one of the most popular supplements available. And a lot of people take this on a daily basis. They're like addicted to it. Magnesium this is magnesium citrate. This is magnesium citrate. This is available on our website too. It's really good. Many people are deficient in magnesium. It's a physiological tranquilizer, can help you sleep. It can help your bowels go and things like this. And when I take this, I feel really good and I sleep really well and I go to the bathroom really good. It's like amazing. But I would only use it when I need it, like maybe once every few months, or if I'm going to travel or something like this. That's what a supplement is good for. But then there's people taking this every single day. You don't even feel the effects anymore. Or maybe you take it every day because you need magnesium. You get your magnesium, okay, now you stop. You take it when you need it. That's like what supplements are for. So now you're talking about melatonin. Like melatonin is not something I recommend. We want our body to naturally produce it. Your body can, again, we're talking about getting lazy here. So using melatonin, I'm against like when people use this on an ongoing basis, but if you want to use melatonin, like when you're traveling again, or you really want to sleep well or something like this, like once a month or every week or whatever you're going to do, the less the better. The less the more impact it has on you. Like I do this once in a rare blue moon. I get plenty of magnesium. It's in the center of the chlorophyll molecule. So like I get major benefit when I take this every once in a while. But then people are like, oh, that felt so good. And then it becomes lifetime. But then it doesn't feel good anymore. But if you use it once a month, it feels really good every time you do it. All right. What do you think about eating soy? Example, soy milk. I'm not a fan of it because of the whole entire estrogenic aspect behind it. However, if you're improving your diet and you're needing this in order to do it, you can experiment with it. But in the long run, it might be good to try to like maybe use it for a couple of years to aid in your transition of your diet, and then you can kind of dump it. Cool. People are liking. Okay. I see you, Andrew. I'll come into you last because I know what you always ask for. Okay. Raw Sienna. Matt, I wish there was the, oh, you already know. Lisa Marie. Okay, so this is the last question. And Andrew, so and we're headed towards the end here anyway, so you might want to ask questions here if you want to. Okay, there's another one. Hi, Matt. Dealing with constipation all my life, trying to heal and have a few questions. Will taking organic plain psyllium make the colon lazy? Could it create any long-term problems? I am on a juice fast currently, 9th day, and doing enemas, but cannot hold much water in. Do you have any idea why I cannot hold the water and have to release? I am not dehydrated, drink lots of reverse osmosis water. Also getting colonics weekly for 2 months and mostly water coming out. I trade off between electrolytes and coffee, but not much release. Is there any tricks before colonic, such as I read and drink a cup of olive oil the night before? Thank you. Okay, so I can sense, because I've been in this situation, there's a lot of tension there. It's like you're contracted. And guess what? Your colon's going to be contracted. It's almost like that right is what we got to like fix. And it looks like you're starting to become dependent on this type of thing. And you're juice fasting. Maybe that's why there's nothing coming out. See, what people do is we kind of like go nutso, 9-day juice fast, colonics, and then you're freaking out during the process when you're doing something really good for yourself right now. It's like there's no winning. So it's like the best thing to do, instead of wasting all this energy and time on doing crazy amounts of colonics and fasting for days and weeks and months on end, the key is to strategize and create the ideal diet on an ongoing basis that you know is best for you. And then you create the habitat within your being to where the beneficial bacteria flourish. Everything normalizes. If you have constipation, it's most likely going to go away. And you got to like eliminate the freak out thing, because that can make you constipated in itself. When you stress like crazy amounts of cortisol, this can pinch the bile duct, which will halt bile production. Plus, you have to keep in mind, if you're doing crazy amounts of enemas like this can be taking away bile. But anyways, the bile is very slippery and actually helps against constipation, if that makes sense. Also, it kills the bad microbes. There was a clinical study where they took mice, they stitched up the bile ducts, and all of a sudden they developed SIBO. And then they unstitched it, and then the SIBO disappeared, showing that the bile is antimicrobial and actually destroys the bad bacteria and keeps a good environment there. So this whole entire freaking out that we're doing with just life, simple things, is what's hurting a lot of us. How does one know if bile is sluggish? What would you recommend if this was the case? Also, I know of a company who makes pure organic sulfur. People really rave about the benefits. Is it possible to get too much sulfur if it's already in the diet? It's possible to get too much of anything, yeah, absolutely. But you're probably okay if you're just taking a small amount on whatever. Well, the first question about your bile thing, Anne, is number one, you have to look at what issues, if any, that you have. If you're doing good, everything is fine, then there's nothing to really worry about. You're doing good. But constipation could be one thing. Bile is what breaks down fat-soluble vitamins. So if you don't have bile, you can have these types of deficiencies, even if you're eating these vitamin A or vitamin D and you're not absorbing. This could be the reason why you don't have enough bile. Maybe that's your thyroid conversion problem, because that bile is needed for that. Do you think diabetes 2 could be cured with eating raw? If you go to YouTube, type in Matt Monarch, go to my videos, and then look at all the David DeLuca ones. He had the worst type 2 diabetes there is. He had it so bad that he had neuropathy, and he can't even feel his fingertips or his feet. Like, he broke a toe and wouldn't feel it. Also, in 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks, he healed diabetes. He healed, it was like 2 to 4 weeks. He healed GERD. He healed depression. He healed acid reflux. The before and after, you could look at from the day he arrived at our retreat center, he came 2 weeks early, to the day he left, he lost like 30 something pounds, healed from all these different things. He went from 24 meds down to 3 in a month. So yeah, type 2 diabetes is definitely healable. And you don't even need to be raw. Just eliminate the refined sugars and processed starches. Hey Matt, do you think I'd feel your B12 patches if I don't feel neuromethylation cream in capsule form? Although it would take it for days, I think I would feel the difference. I know I'm lacking in B, and I also need more energy. Thanks. I mean, I can't make any guarantees if you're going to feel it, but many people have stated that they do feel it. I personally do feel it. I've put 3 on at one time. I've actually put 12 on at one time. That was a mistake. And that could be an experiment for somebody. You will definitely feel it. Okay. I still see you, man. Okay. How can I get off Synthroid after 5 years of use? Okay, so Veronica asked how she can get off of Synthroid after 5 years of use. Okay, first, before I go into this, I am not a doctor, and I'm just sharing things based off of my experience. And I recommend consulting with a medical doctor before making any changes. Okay, the first thing is, why in the first place did you have this thyroid issue? Was it because were you okay? And then many people freak out because they're overweight and they hear, oh, thyroid makes you overweight, so maybe I could just go into the hospital and they can fix it for me. And then that alone was the reason why they did it. And then they get stimulated from taking the hormone. They're like, oh, it's doing something. And then it becomes this thing forever. Now it's 5 years later. So was it more of a mental thing, or was it like, what was really going on there? So if we look at that, the first thing you want to do is examine your diet and your life, your health, your whole entire lifestyle. And the first step is to decide to make permanent dietary lifestyle which is ideal, that would heal your thyroid. Like, for example, eating cooked whole foods. You don't have to eat 100% raw, but just eliminating refined sugars, processed sugar, all the nasty stuff, processed foods. And for those of you who don't watch me often, and this is your first time here, there are many diets out there, and a lot of them get results based off of what they leave out from their diets. They're eliminating the refined sugar, processed starches. Like, all of the diets out there are the same, like the Zone diet, the Macrobiotics diet, the South Beach diet, because they all eliminate the same junk, processed foods, refined sugar, processed starches. That's the common denominator on why they all have success in healing disease and losing weight. So what we did was we created a diet that has all the highest amount of foods you can possibly imagine. And it's just a list of the foods you can eat. And if you eliminate everything from every food you eat, if you eliminate everything from your diet but what is on this list, then you did it. You're on a cooked whole foods diet and you're set. And this list is loaded with all sorts of foods. It's got beans, baked potatoes, brown rice pastas, brown rice cakes, millet, quinoa, buckwheat, eggs, preferably raw, goat's milk, goat's cheese, all that type of stuff. Animal products like chicken, fish, turkey, all of this is on this diet. And if you can eliminate everything from your diet but what's on here, you're on a cooked whole foods diet. And these are all foods that are whole foods. We normally eat these things. It's that simple. We just have to get rid of the processed junk, like white bread. Instead of having your meat sandwich, put the meat in a salad. Salads are key here for the beneficial flora for all of these things. So lots of salads. And if you want to see this list of foods, you go to news.therawfoodworld.com/live. And then you look to the right here, and it's the Whole Foods diet link. It's right there, right now, available to you for free. Boom, bang, bada boom. Okay. Okay, so how can I get off of Synthroid after 5 years? So the first step, it's pretty difficult. The physical aspect is a little bit easier than the next step. So the first thing is to eliminate all the junk and eat a healthy cooked whole foods diet. You have to, for the sake of your health in the long run, to avoid degenerative diseases, because generally when someone goes on a hormone, they don't fix the problem, and in the long run, they end up with other issues. So to not end up with those other issues and end up on other pharmaceutical drugs in the long run, you've got to fix your dietary lifestyle. And then once you've done that successfully, you can start to wean off. Remember, go see a doctor. I'm just doing based off of my experience before making any changes. Then you start to slowly wean off of it. And then you start getting your thyroid gland to pick up, to come back. So it's not reliant on this. Right now, it's just sleepy. It doesn't need to do anything because you're just pouring T4 in. So when you start to change your dietary lifestyle, then you start to slowly wean off of it. But then the mental aspect comes into play. And this is what nails most people. It's like the human body goes through ups and downs. It's our vehicle. We need to sleep. We need rest. We need to rebuild. This is natural. It's okay to have gas and feeling good one day. This is normal, but we freak out in our own bodies sometimes. And when this happens, oh, we must be doing something wrong, and you just do something crazy. So if you start eliminating Synthroid, and then you have an incidence like this, it might combust you internally, and then what? You just go back to what you were doing. So it's like you have to keep the freaking out mode, which is stress, fear, as you do this. As soon as it comes in, you gotta like recognize that it's not you and recognize this and do that type of work like you do with anger we talked about earlier. You have anger, you can just focus and watch it dissipate. Same with all of this stuff. And that right there, what we're talking about, this freaking out thing, is the number one reason why people go on thyroid medication in the first place. It's the thing that brought you to the hospital. And that with the dietary lifestyle is the underlying cause of all of this. What's the point of the freak out? You're scared of dying? Becoming fat? I don't know. Okay, let's ask this question. This is perfect. How much weight did you lose over 5 years of taking Synthroid? And if you did lose weight, did it come back? Inquiring minds want to know. Did it even help you? What benefits did you get from this? When you do something like that, your adrenals pick up. It's like putting the gas pedal on the adrenals. So you might get stimulation at first. All right. "12 at one time, blood routines." Okay. Okay. This is really good for salt. Someone says, when I eat 100% raw, I crave salt. This is like salt right here. Total different type of salt. This is transformed into organic, bioavailable minerals through live animals, live marine phytoplankton and zooplankton. It's like the plasma, their plasma, which is like almost identical to the human blood molecule. It's very hydrating. It's really good for the lymph system. This right here is extremely good for the lymph system. We're talking like serious trace minerals, electrolytes, and stuff like that. It helps with the traveling of all that stuff. Nancy writes, "This is the first Tuesday night that our family has all been home together during your live talk, and we are loving this." Sweet. Thanks for answering Piper and Ren's questions. Now one more from me. What are your thoughts on DHEA for bumping up the thyroid with a healthy diet already in place? Why do you, like, where's that coming from? In terms of synthetic DHEA, this is like a food source, pine pollen. This is a simple food source. And tell me, how is that going to affect the thyroid? Remember we were talking about this whole entire progesterone, estrogen imbalance. When I didn't say, okay, so when this occurs, when you have unopposed estrogen and your progesterone is low, what happens a lot of the time is women have heavy periods and they become anemic. And then becoming anemic can actually block the thyroid from working properly. And then when that happens, you have heavy periods again. So it's like a catch-22 type thing. And so I'm just like looking at this whole DHEA, pregnenolone, DHEA, progesterone. Maybe if there's more DHEA, it will stop, it will prevent progesterone from disappearing as much, possibly. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then the periods might not be as heavy, helping the thyroid maybe. I'm not 100% sure. My naturopath recommended it for my thyroid. My TSH is slightly high. I mean, I don't know everything, obviously. There's obviously a reason I'd like to know. My naturopath recommended it for my thyroid. The TSH is slightly high. Slightly high. Do you realize that your TSH during some of the years, during winter versus summer is different, and then certain different times of the day your TSH is different? The TSH is always different. If you were to get your TSH tested again, it might be completely different. It's like this whole blood test fear thing is like, T3 and T4 are normal. He recommended DHEA. I mean, you can try taking a little bit of pine pollen. Debbie. David DeLuca has a video on YouTube the other day that he might come to see you. He has gained back all but 25 pounds and his neuropathy has been really bad. Someone else just wrote he hasn't done a video, was 2 months ago. Let's take a look, guys. Mr. DeLuca, Rod DeLuca. Everyone's on YouTube right now looking up Rod DeLuca. Oh boy. I know it was 2 months ago. His last video was 2 months ago. David DeLuca has a video on YouTube the other day that he might come back to see you. He has gained. Debbie, can you forward me this video? Because I see his last video is 2 months ago. I'd like to see that. All right. All right, let's see what Andrew says just for fun purposes, and then we'll call it quits. Hey man, I have another spiritual question for you, as he laughs. I've been trying to be more mindful of my thoughts and habits, trying to stay in the present moment, so on and so forth. Is there some way to see if we're making spiritual progress at all? I know that you talk about receiving more energy as one grows spiritually. When you say energy, are you talking about physical energy or mental or clarity or perception? Because isn't it an inescapable fact that as one grows older, we lose vitality and energy? Thanks, man. All right, guys, this is the last question, and then we're gonna say goodnight. Okay. Okay, so the first thing, is progress can sometimes be conscious or unconscious. spiritual progress. And also, it's more of like a believing and a knowing. Facebook just got nailed out. Do this Facebook thing. Okay. Okay, so trying to be more mindful of my thoughts and habits, trying to stay in the present moment, so on and so forth. Okay, so thing is, okay, so staying in the present moment, being mindful of your thoughts and habits are all good. And this is like doing the work. And the main secret in all of it is, you know, okay, so some people call it the source, the creator, some people call him God, all of these different terms. The creator of all living things, this is like the determiner of everything, if that makes sense. So with that being said, do what you're doing and being in the present moment and working on all of this is like doing the work. And then there's the entire aspect of like asking for help. Please, can I move forward? Stuff like that. That might be the missing component right there. And for the final finale at the end of this hangout, you said, as one grows spiritually, when you say energy, are you talking like, okay, you said, I know that you talk about receiving more energy as one grows spiritually. When you are saying energy, are you talking about physical energy? No. Or mental energy? No. Or clarity of perception? I mean, it's all part of it. But it's it's more consciousness. It's like you feel more of the good and the bad at the same time. And as soon as someone feels that, a lot of people are like, I don't want it. Because a lot of people can't even deal with their health issues. Like they freak out about taking a supplement, or they freak out because they got this pain or something like this. Imagine if that was amplified. You first have to learn, like you're doing through all the things that you're doing, to handle that, because everything gets amplified. It's an amplified experience. So it's like, we got to be doing that work, stop going into fear, insecurity, worry, and things like that, while doing the other thing we were talking about before, and then boom. Thanks, Rainbow. All right, so with that being said, everybody, this is Monarch. We do this every single Tuesday night. You have about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6, 7 hours left to get in. This is right now is the time to order. We have at the lowest price available anywhere for 7 more hours. And also the dripping wet mid-jewel dates, the living libations, all of these other things at cost for November and October, all available right now. Now's the time to order. You can use the coupon code RAWFOOD7 for an additional 7% off. And at cost specials means that what we do is we deals with all of our vendors. The typical markup on products, such as like snacky foods and things like this, is about 30%. And what we do is we say, hey, to the vendors, well, I'll just keep going. We say, hey, to the vendors, we're doing such high volume when we offer these products at cost, can you give us a deeper discount? We're doing such high volume, we tell our vendors, can you give us a deeper discount because we're gonna sell hundreds during this promotion versus like the 24 we sell per month. And we just need a lower wholesale cost. And they say yes. So then we're able to offer it to you at the cost we normally get it. And then that's how we can survive and give these incredible low prices because all of the raw food manufacturers are willing to work with us, do something like that. So Raw Food 7 is the coupon code. Now is the time to order. Raw Food Retreat in December, I think it's like December 20, go to the rawfoodretreat.com. We've got 33 people and growing. You might want to book sooner. Also, January 1st, the prices for the retreat raise. If you put a deposit down now, before January 1st, you are locked in at the lower pricing and you can choose any other retreat in the future to go to. You can determine when you put the deposit down or whenever you want. I have my little spreadsheet that I'll put you in. All right, guys. What else do I want to share? What else? I think that's it. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next Tuesday night here from Vilcabamba, Ecuador. And where's this Dave DeLuca thing? I want to see it.